Hey everyone! In today's video, I'll be comparing the Archer & Olive B5 dotted journal to the Notebook Therapy B5 dotted journal. I know the traditional bullet journal size in the bullet journaling community is the A5 size, but for the past few years I switched to a B5 size for more space since it's slightly larger. Since I switched over to the B5 size, I was and still am using Archer & Olive journals due to the incredible quality and durability of their notebooks. However, since this past holiday season, some of you may have noticed that Archer & Olive's inventory has been extremely limited and lackluster. They used to have many different journals available on their website, but this year they've had next to nothing in stock. I had heard about Notebook Therapy for a couple of years, but never felt the need to order their journals before, since I was familiar with Archer & Olive and they used to have a variety of journals available for purchase. So it wasn't until this year that I finally decided to place an order for a couple of Notebook Therapy journals to test out, because I have no idea if Archer & Olive will be restocking anything in the future. So if you're in a similar position as me and you're considering if you should switch over to Notebook Therapy, I hope this answers some of your questions. So far, I've been using this Notebook Therapy journal as my diary, or dump journal as I tend to call it. I'm about halfway done with it, so I've had some time to get familiar with it. In terms of the paper quality, which in my opinion is one of the most important, if not the most important part of these journals, I'd say they're practically identical. They're both this bright white color. So this one over here is the Notebook Therapy, this one over here is the Archer & Olive. So both journals have 160 GSM paper, which is a very thick and durable paper similar to cardstock. In my experience, I've never had any ghosting or bleed through with this type of paper, particularly when I'm using gel pens, fountain pens, pencils or colored pencils, and water-based markers. The only ghosting or bleed through I have noticed was when I was testing out a Sharpie, so I would caution against using any alcohol markers. These pages also hold up well to watercolor as long as you use water sparingly. So as you can see, I used watercolors on the previous page, and on this side you don't see any of the watercolor seeping through. However, you may experience some warping of the pages when using watercolors, but I don't notice any bleed through with watercolors. Both journals have 32 squares across the page and then 46 squares going down. You may be able to see here that the Notebook Therapy one is slightly shorter than the Archer & Olive. As far as the width, then the Archer & Olive is slightly wider as well. So because the actual pages are slightly smaller, then the margins around the dots are slightly smaller on the Notebook Therapy journal pages compared to the Archer & Olive, but they have the same amount of dots and squares as each other, so you won't be missing out on any of that, just that the margins on the side are smaller. The Archer & Olive journals come with 160 pages, whereas the Notebook Therapy journals come with 176. Both journals come with 2 ribbon bookmarks. The Archer & Olive one comes with a little charm on one of them. They both have pockets in the back cover, as well as elastic closures. The Archer & Olive journals come with a pen loop, so as you can see, it has been integrated inside the back cover, whereas the Notebook Therapy journals do not come with a pen loop. When I placed the order for these Notebook Therapy journals, then I purchased a 12-pack of these self-adhesive pen loops from Amazon for $9. So I went ahead and stuck one in here, and I haven't had any issues with it falling off or coming off. It's been holding on very well. I've seen in the past that there were some Archer & Olive journals that came with gilded edges for their pages. However, typically, and for the ones that I've gotten, then they don't have any gilded edges, whereas for the Notebook Therapy ones, then they do have this gilded edge, as you can see It's metallic and shiny. I purchased both of these notebooks for about $39 each, including the separate purchase of a pen loop for the notebook therapy journal. It does seem a little more expensive at first, but you're also getting 16 additional pages compared to the Archer and Olive. And again, if a pen loop is not something that you need out of a journal, then you don't have to purchase that on the side either, which also just saves you a little bit more money compared to the Archer and Olive. Also, notebook therapy journals tend to include a little paperclip charm in the back pocket when you first receive them. So as you can see, this one matches the design on the front cover, which is really cute. So again, just a little something to consider when you are purchasing the notebook therapy journals in comparison to the Archer and Olive. In the end, I think both of these journals are pretty similar in price and quality. The paper quality are the same from my experience. I bring both of these journals with me to my office job, and I haven't noticed any damage to them while traveling, which is great. If you're considering trying notebook therapy journals and you're already familiar with the quality of Archer and Olive, you really won't notice a difference if you were to switch over. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Let me know if you have any questions that I didn't answer during this video down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!